Now on CoastTV News.
Green Glimpse, a look inside Delaware's cannabis industry just days away from the recreational market launch. Wheels Welcome, a big investment, is making Delaware's trails more inclusive. The new gear helping people of all abilities enjoy the state parks. And Design Discussion, what's next for the Georgetown Circle after car crashes damaged monuments there.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Christina DeRobertis. Tonight, tsunami waves crossing the Pacific, reaching Hawaii, California, and Washington state after an 8.8 earthquake struck off of Russia. The tsunami warning sending people to watch from balconies in Hawaii and rooftops in Japan with high waves. And Liz Kreutz reports from Honolulu, Hawaii, only recently issuing the all clear.
Tsunami alerts issued as far away as South America. After that massive 8.8 magnitude earthquake, one of the largest ever recorded, struck off Russia's Pacific coast, sending people rushing out of crumbling buildings. Portions of the ceiling collapsing on travelers at an airport. Doctors here seen mid-surgery, desperately trying to stabilize a patient. Tremors shattering this Russian kindergarten building, the entire wall falling away. Thank God there were no children inside, he says. The quake happening along the Pacific's Ring of Fire. The first tsunami spotted in this small fishing village. You can see those buildings floating away. In Japan, millions evacuated, some flocking to rooftops. And in the U.S., tsunami warnings issued up and down the West Coast.
We decided to go to elevated ground.
Hawaii braced for the worst.
It can move cars, it will throw fences around. If it hits, it can dislodge trees.
Honolulu in gridlock as residents race to get away from the coast. Tourists at beachfront hotels forced to seek shelter above the fourth floor. Hundreds crowding in resort hallways for hours. Airlines canceling flights. The Coast Guard ordering all commercial vessels to evacuate harbors.
They left without us. Hold on, I'll show you. There they are. They're leaving us.
Mandy Berry said she had to stay the night in a Hilo shelter after her tour bus didn't make it back before her cruise ship left port.
My first thought was, why are they closing the gate? And then my second thought was, wow, this is really happening. They're really going to leave us.
Overnight, waves crested to over 5 feet in some areas, but no major injuries or damage reported.
Well, back here in Delaware, Governor Matt Meyer just signed a new law to boost safety for student athletes. It requires all school coaches to be trained in CPR, first aid, and how to use defibrillators. Schools also need to clear emergency plans and working AADs at all athletic events. Delaware leaders and Governor Matt Meyer, they got a first-hand look inside the state's marijuana industry today. Governor Meyer toured First State Compassion in Milford, getting a behind-the-scenes look at how the cultivation facility operates from seed to sale. The visit comes just days ahead of Delaware's recreational market launch. Meyer also met with a few Delaware Tech students enrolled in the school's new cannabis industry program. It's designed to prepare those students for jobs in the cannabis field.
As best we know, this is the first program in the state of Delaware, and so just like any other program, when there's a need, we respond to it in the workforce by partnering with the employer, designing curriculum that fits the need, and then producing graduates who can go out and work.
And after facing many delays, Delaware's recreational market is expected to open this Friday, August 1st. Delaware State Parks are taking a major step forward in accessibility thanks to a new grant. More than $240,000 is being used to expand the use of all-terrain wheelchairs. They're known as track chairs. It's happening across several state parks. These rugged chairs are battery-powered and they are built to handle sand, gravel, and uneven trails, allowing people with mobility challenges to experience areas that were once out of reach.
I think that if it's not coming to be available everywhere, it definitely should be, and it should be on everybody's priority list just to get people outside and being able to just hang out outdoors and all kinds of people. You know, I think that's awesome.
And the chairs are free to use. They can be reserved online. Denrec officials say it's just the beginning of a more inclusive outdoor experience for everyone. Now we'll take a live look outside into Dover and turn things to our first alert chief meteorologist, Paul Williams. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening. And right now everything's quiet, but we're trying to recover from the warm weather. But now we're going to be bracing for the possibility of some heavy showers pushing through, particularly tomorrow night between 7 and 9 o'clock. Overall, right now we're relatively calm and cooling off. 82 degrees in Lewis. Dew point of 75. We're going to see 77 degrees in the early morning hours with increasing cloud cover that'll start moving into the Lewis area. We have an active flood watch in effect for all of Sussex, but it's also for the entire state because we're bracing for a really quick, heavy downpour likely to hit us for Thursday evening, and it's going to bring some significant amount of rain that short period of time. We'll take a look at what the forecasting models are showing us, but for right now, back to you.
Thanks, Paul. We'll check back in. Now we'll go to Georgetown. Some viewers will remember several car crashes damaging police memorials at the Georgetown Circle in 2023. And after that, we reported a local committee was formed to prevent accidents like that from happening again. And as CoastTV photojournalist Matt Hipsman shows us, the committee now closing in on real change.
Our main point today was discussing the placement of the monuments for Chief Gregg and Officer Spicer due to the fact that they've been struck multiple times.
We want them basically out of the direct line of traffic. The design of it has been set, and that's not an issue. So it's simply just where we can put them where they won't be damaged.
So I think we want to make sure that we're doing what's best for the town and what would make the families happy.
We're asking the architect, the landscape architect, to come back with a rendering so we can present it to town council. We've come up with a suggestion for where to place the monuments that will hopefully keep them from being damaged and enable people to enjoy them and remember our fallen heroes. We really love Georgetown. We believe in Georgetown, and we want to do what we can to make it the best we can, and that's it.
We've all come together, and I think we're agreeing on what we think is best for the safety and what's going to keep the circle beautiful.
Well, swimming advisories were posted by DNREC at Deauville Beach and Cape Henlopen State Park yesterday afternoon. And we've already had warnings like this earlier in the summer. Even though the advisory was lifted today about 3 p.m., people at the beach were still a little worried about it. The advisories were specifically for what's called fecal indicator bacteria. DNREC says that can come from various natural and human sources, storm water, pet waste, even trash. A lot of beachgoers opting to avoid the water today.
At the local swimming pool, yeah, when a kid has an accident, it's shut down. They have to shock it, everybody out of the water. Well, you're not going to be able to do that in the ocean, are you?
And just last week, the same advisories were in place at Herring Point Beach and Lewis Beach North. Plus, earlier this month, Rehoboth Beach faced a similar 24-hour swim advisory. Now to Dover. 2 families in Dover commemorated their new homes today thanks to Habitat for Humanity. The organization held a double dedication ceremony this afternoon on South New Street, commemorating the Armstead and Waller families. Habitat's home ownership program helps families achieve this dream by building their own home with staff and volunteers. And CEO Tim Bailey says it means a lot for the family and everyone else who has been working hard toward this day.
It's just a very important and exciting time for both families. Both single moms, both have incredible stories, have overcome a lot of adversity to achieve homeownership, and just couldn't be happier to share this day with them.
Since its founding in 1990, Central Delaware Habitat for Humanity has built and renovated 90 homes housing more than 400 adults and children up in Kent County. And we are just getting started. Still more news to tell you about. Coming up, a 100-year tradition. We have all the fun from the Chincoteague Pony Swim this morning.
Here's a look at your Bay forecast. For Cambridge, we're looking for scattered showers and thunderstorms for Thursday night. 89 for the high. Then we drop to 73, and we stay in the 70s. Cooler weather is indeed on the way. Right now, we're waiting to see just how much rain are we going to receive. A lot of the models have been kind of wonky throughout the day, but the bottom line is it's going to be the kind of rain that's going to make a dramatic dent in the heat and humidity that we've been dealing with in recent history. Ocean view, 80 degrees right now, courtesy of our gutter helmet camera. will settle into 77 degrees between 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, starting to get a little bit cooler. And we're cooling down generally across the Delmarva Peninsula at this hour, as we should now that we're not overly exposed or continuously exposed to the sun. We're at 80 degrees not only in Milton, but we're also at 80 degrees in Millsboro, 80 degrees in Seaford, 79 right now. Georgetown. Now we feel like 82 in Georgetown, so we still have a lot of moisture in place. It makes a little bit of a difference throughout the late night hours, but ultimately the muggy meter is going to stay dancing a little bit on the high side for today and tomorrow till we get to Friday, and after the rain hits on Thursday, then we drop dramatically like a bad investment on Wall Street, okay? Look at that line going all the way down to comfy from miserable. That's a dramatic drop, and now it kind of makes sense as to why we're concerned about a possible flood watch. Now this is connected to more of a flash flood watch because we're expecting so much rain in such a short period of time. Georgetown, Hollyville, Millsboro, Longneck, Clarksville, Frankfort, but also in Milford, Harrington, Statenville, Ellendale, as well as the Bowers community and really the entire state. So everybody's going to be up to bat, so to speak, tomorrow for that chance of strong storms between 7 and 9 o'clock. After we close down shop for the 6 o'clock newscast, if we have any severe thunderstorm warnings or anything like that, we will be sure to jump on the app and let you know what's happening with any of the storms. 87 for the high in Lewis for tomorrow. Looking out for isolated showers in Cambridge as well as Vienna with a high of 91. And we'll warm to 89 degrees in Pocomoke City as well as Snow Hill. Along the coast, watch out for a better chance of scattered showers in Lewis with winds out of the south at 6 miles per hour, then scattered cloud cover in most of the other locations. Now, we are going to see temperatures start to feel like 98 degrees as late as 6 o'clock in the evening for Thursday. But then we see these scattered showers pushing across in the early morning hours for Friday and Thursday. Now, Friday looking at 1 o'clock with this latest run. So it looks like 1 o'clock is going to be the time frame where this is going to become more problematic. So we're starting to see the showers lean more so towards Friday than any other time frame here with our 3-day forecast. Ocean City, better chance of scattered showers on Friday. Same holds true for us, Fenwick Island. So we're seeing the rain shifting a little bit more for us as we go into Lewis. Finally, here's a look at the extended forecast. We are expecting cooler conditions, no matter if the rain hits late Thursday going into Friday. But Friday's going to be cloudy, and then that's going to be the big drop from, let's say, near 90 down to 73 degrees for the high. Then we drop more, actually down into the 60s, 62, 61 degrees. Don't be surprised if Sunday morning going to Monday, we might actually clock a 59. That's bona fide cool in my book, especially towards the end of July.
It sure is. Thank you, Paul. Well, here's a shot of the roughly 150 Chincoteague ponies taking a rest after swimming across the channel this morning. The purpose of the pony swim and the ensuing auction is primarily a fundraiser for the Chincoteague Volunteer Fire Company and to check on the beloved wild ponies. But as Coast TV's Madeline Overturf shows us, it's also about keeping a century-old tradition alive.
A front row seat to a sight like no other. Chincoteague's wild ponies resting and grazing on grass. After an incredible journey, a swim across the Assateague Channel. This is the 100th annual Chincoteague Pony Swim. But before we got here, we had to get here. Thousands of spectators arriving before dawn.
She planned this trip in January and said, "Mom, you want to do this mother-daughter trip?" And I said, "Yes." Yeah. It's like a dream.
Gleefully braving the marsh, mud, and muck. The swim across the Assateague Channel is only about 5 minutes long. But for the boaters you see behind me, they've been here for hours ahead of sunrise. And it's not just hours of anticipation for them. For many, it's years of waiting and, honestly, a dream come true. All eyes on the water as the ponies cross. Saltwater cowboys, primarily Chincoteague firefighters, ensuring each and every animal gets to shore safely. A collective feeling of joy at seeing this spectacle, though everyone's motivations were beautifully varied.
I'm really excited. It's been on my bucket list literally my entire life, and I have 3 horses, and I've always wanted a Chincoteague pony, and my goal is to be a saltwater cowgirl eventually.
It was a bucket list of my husband's, and he passed away a year ago, and this was the 100th anniversary, so we decided we would come.
From 9, here we go, 25.
The swim and ensuing auction raises money for the fire department, which manages the herd.
We did $547,000 last year in fundraising with the ponies, and we're hoping to do more than that this year.
Horse lovers and those who love them in community on one small island.
That mud will wash off, but those memories you have are going to last forever.
As the ponies walk away from the channel and into town for the next few days, crowds cheered. Or even just a moment, remembering what it means to be a part of something special.
In the entire Chincoteague Island, you know, it's a beautiful place. I always would tell people during my journey, doing life, about this beautiful, magical place.
Upholding tradition, one swim and step at a time. In Chincoteague, I'm Madeline Overturf.
And if you missed the pony swim this morning, don't worry, you can check out DelmarvaSportsNetwork.com to watch the whole swim. But full disclosure, you will have to create a Delmarva Sports Network Plus subscription to watch the swim this way. And for a full guide of all pony swim activities, including the next few days, head over to CoastTV.com. Coming up after the break, Trump's trade deadline. He says August 1st will not be extended. What that means for global deals and the standoff with China.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
In business news, Starbucks has closed the door on pickup-only stores. The coffee chain CEO saying this format, which debuted 6 years ago, lacked, quote, the warmth and human connection that defines the brand. At the roughly 90 Starbucks pickup locations, customers were advised to order through the app, get their drinks, and then leave. Some of these spots might be transformed into regular Starbucks stores. President Donald Trump's pause on his so-called reciprocal tariffs ends in just a couple of days. On Friday, hundreds of countries will learn their fate with the United States when it comes to trade. And Julia Benbrook is at the White House with where things stand.
While countries work toward bespoke trade agreements with the United States, some have already received warning letters from the Trump administration that they could face higher rates unless they make a deal before the deadline. In a social media post, Trump said, quote, the August 1st deadline is the August 1st deadline. It stands strong and will not be extended, calling it a big day for America. To date, at least 7 trading partners have reached a framework for a trade deal with the United States. That includes an agreement with the European Union that was announced over the weekend. Trade negotiations with China are ongoing. Back in May, China agreed to temporarily lower tariffs on American goods from 125% to 10%, while the United States agreed to lower tariffs on Chinese goods from 145% to 30%. Trump struck a hopeful tone earlier this week when it comes to those specific negotiations.
I just had a phone call from Scott Bessent and had a very good meeting with China, and it seems that, they're going to brief me tomorrow. We'll either approve it or not, but he felt very good about the meeting. Better than he felt yesterday. Yesterday I said, ooh, here we go again. But today it worked out.
Delegations representing the two countries met for talks this week, concluding without a resolution. The current deadline for a deal with China is August 12th. Ahead of those talks, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent suggested that there could be an extension. If there's not an agreement, historic tariffs on each other's imports could once again go into effect. At the White House, I'm Julia Benbrook.
Coming up after the break, toxic temptations, a nicotine pouch warning for parents.
Here's a look at your golf forecast. We're expecting increasing cloud cover going into tomorrow, but still staying hot and humid, at least up to about 3 o'clock. 88 for the high, but feeling a whole lot like 100.
We salute Henry Weber for his dedicated service in the U.S. Air Force, where he served with distinction in Thailand, Montana, and at Andrews Air Force Base. As an aircraft technician, Henry played a vital role in maintaining mission readiness across multiple assignments. He retired in the 1980s after more than 20 years of honorable service. His commitment and contributions to our nation are deeply appreciated.
Spicer Brothers and CoastTV are honoring military persons and first responders serving Delmarva. If you have a family member, friend, or community member that you would like to nominate for a CoastTV salute, go to coasttvsalutes.com.
The Delaware Division of Public Health is offering back-to-school and DIAA sports physicals at clinics across the state next week. In Kent County, the clinic will be Wednesday, August 6th at the Riverwalk State Service Center. That's in Milford. In Sussex County, it's happening Thursday, August 7th at the Thurman Adams Jr. State Service Center in Georgetown. Newcastle County will also hold its clinic on August 7th in Newark at the Floyd Hudson Center. The hours are 8:30 to 4 p.m. each day. Appointments are encouraged, and the cost is going to be no more than $20, even without insurance. Be cautious before you fire up the grill this weekend. More than 1,000 pounds of frozen ground beef from Ada Valley Meat Company have been recalled. A consumer reportedly found tiny pieces of metal inside the meat. The FDA says the beef was sent to distributors in 5 states: California, Delaware, Illinois, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. No related injuries have been reported. Consumers are advised to return the beef to the place of purchase. Nicotine pouches are a popular way to get a nicotine fix, and they continue to flood the market. But a new study shows the dangers these products are posing to young children who find and unintentionally ingest them. In tonight's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither looks at the data and has more with the study's co-author on how to keep children safe.
In the U.S., sales of nicotine pouches have skyrocketed from 126 million pouches sold in August 2019 to 808 million sold in March 2022.
There's been an explosion of nicotine products in recent years. And we also know that there is a paucity of data looking at what happens to young children when they get into these products.
Dr. Hannah Hayes with Nationwide Children's Hospital is co-author of a study aimed at the dangers of these products in little hands. The researchers found that between 2020 and 2023, unintentional nicotine pouch ingestion calls to U.S. poison centers surged 763% for children younger than 6 years old.
And this is while ingestion rates for other nicotine products declined.
Hayes says unintentional nicotine ingestion by a child can lead to nausea, vomiting, fast heart rates, high blood pressure, and in extreme cases, seizures, respiratory failure, even death. To keep children safe, Hayes says to safely and securely store these products up and away from children and out of sight, preferably in a place that can be locked, and avoid using these products in front of children, especially if they're packaged to look like treats.
I also recommend that parents save the Poison Help number in their phone or post it in a visible place in their home, and call right away if you expect a child or loved one has been exposed to a medication or drug product.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good evening, sports fans. USSSA softball keeps on rolling, and we've got playoff basketball for you this week on DSN. Let's start out on the diamond. It's the Delaware Heart 16U taking on the Force 18U in pool play at the Eastern National Championships. We start in the top of the second. It's Jay Wood. She's going to rope a single through the right side. Peyton Dansby comes home to score, and it's 1-0 Heart. Next, Kayla Bradley is going to bounce a single through the 5-6 hole. Savannah Little comes home to score. The Heart doubled their lead. It's 2-0. Then the bottom of the second we go. Olivia Caputo is going to take a ball high. Check out this heads-up play. No one holds the runner at second, so Anne-Marie Stella is going to take off for third. She's in there safely, and later in the at-bat, Caputo would deliver. Shoots a single into left field. That right there is how you manufacture runs. The Force would trail 3-1 though, so we go to the bottom of the fourth. This is the last chance for the Force. It will also be the last inning due to time limit. Josie Schultz will ground out to short, and that's the ball game. Final score 4-1 as the Heart get the win. And don't forget, we've also got playoff basketball for you this week on DSN. Yes, even in the summertime, the action all begins Thursday at 6:15 with the semifinals between Top Cut and the Laurel Dogs. Then championship coverage at 7:30, all on DSN. Kayla Santiago and Ian Nicholas are on the call for both games. You won't want to miss them. That'll do it for sports for tonight. Have a great one, everyone.
Now you're looking live outside into Lewis. We'll have one more check on the forecast after this. Some familiar voices from our local radio traded the mic for the spotlight last week, all for a good cause. Paula Sangelier from 93.5 The Beach hosted a comedy night at the Dream Big Performing Arts Center in Del Mar to benefit the Humane Society of Wicomico County, and Steve Montz of Big 107.7 and April Brilliant from Coast Country 103.9 and The Duck stepped up for their stand-up comedy debut, the show raising nearly $1,000 for the animal shelter.
Sounds like a winning cause for me. There we go. In Milford, we're at 79 degrees by midnight, 77 by 2 o'clock. We do have a flood watch in effect for, it really kicks in for Thursday's rain, so we'll watch out for that and keep you updated. Umbrella giveaway winner is Darlene Colodi of Frankfurt. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, sponsored by the law offices of Bruckstead, Mendalis, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. After the rain, we cool down dramatically, particularly going into this weekend.
Thank you, Paul, and thanks for joining us for Coast TV News at 11. You can find more news, more local weather on our Coast TV News app. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon's up next, and we'll see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great night.